on. Oh shit. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Finally, back to another conspiracy lunch. I don't know why it cut off like it did on my video there, but if you're not having technical difficulties, you're not having fun. So, appreciate you anybody popping in. It's kind of last minute. I was like, hell, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Yona. I've been working on it, been adding to it, trying to make it cool, having fun with it. Uh, I don't know. The title it says something about it. No, it just says conspiracy Ricky on Rumble. Oops. I thought I fixed it. But I was going to talk about Cracker Barrel, I guess, for a second. Everybody else is talking about it. Why can't I talk about it? And then just it's Monday morning blues. What's going on with y'all? Checking in on everybody. I think it's with the Rumble, not the Rumble. Let's see. I'm trying. My brain is just bad. See if I can fix this. But yeah, I think they're gonna have a whole bunch of yeah, yeah, go woke, go broke, and they're like my mom and dad went in there and like they said that the portions in there right now are like itty bitty, um, tiny little things. It's not worth you know. My mom don't complain about stuff, and it's one of them things like, uh, and she is if she's complaining about it, there's something wrong. And then they did the normal. Um, oh yeah, this is okay. I think the problem, I one of the issues I think it is you got all these people. They got yes men beside them, and they don't want to damn turn around and have nobody to tell them, "Oh, that you're this ain't a good idea." I got in trouble when I worked for a big corporation, for a big company. And I would tell them straight up, like, this ain't gonna work right. This ain't good. This ain't the path we need to go. And then they get mad at me. But at one time they appreciate my blunt honesty, and then later they kind of turned around and was like, got mad at me because I wouldn't stop shut up. Um, that's one of them things where, yeah, if if you're gonna go away from your whole base of who your customer are, like, where do they get these people, um, and put them up in a CEO position and just hire them, like, okay, this would be cool, this is a good idea, and then you turn around and they have no idea who their customers are, or what their database. Cracker Barrel used to be the cool place to go. We used to go around. If you're traveling and you were like, man, I needed something good to eat. I know it's going to be good. It ain't the greatest food of all time, but it's going to be good food, good atmosphere. There's a Cracker Barrel. Hell, we pull in there. You want your country food, and now they've taken that away from folks. You go in there and they changed all the menu. They changed all the, trying to change it up, make it, more hip or whatever. And they just ruining stuff because they got no yes man. All they got is yes man. Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. And then the whole idea of, you know, being going, really going woke, going broke. If you're going to turn around and push your narrative, especially in the South, you're going to go. I know they're just Cracker Barrels all over the place, but man, I don't know, it don't make any sense. And they've just lost millions of dollars because of something. Yeah, that's funny. They should change the name from Cracker Barrel over to Food Receptacle. Sounds more delicious according to our focus group. Yeah, I mean that's what they. I don't know where did they get these people on these focus groups. Uh, these logos. I mean, and the logo really does. It looks like somebody on the weekend, like, hey, make me a new logo. Went on Canva and went and got the most blandest ass shit you could get a hold of. Uh, you know, at least use you know an AI program and make them have you make you a new program. Don't that's just absolutely ridiculous. But they don't care, and I wonder. Yeah, they kill people. Stole the barrel. I and I wonder if it's. I asked the question. I put it on my Twitter the other day, and I wonder if it's going to be like the other. Are they banking on it dropping? Are they wanting it to drop? You know, I forget what it's called. I gotta look it up for I can say that terminology. But it's exactly what they did. They tried to do the GameStop, and the people stopped that, but he turned around and the people brought GameStop back. But with Circuit City and Sears and Toys R Us and all them businesses, they infiltrated their business with a jackass in there that don't want it, that was there to ruin it and bring it down, uh, and they're betting on it and made money off of him taking a loss. And I wonder if Cracker Barrel is the next on the list of of businesses they were going to try to do that. They are taking a hellacious loss right now, so I mean it could be that was their goal. That's their new way of doing it. Um, I'd be interested to see, uh, if that was the possibility. I hope not. I mean, it would, you have a business that's been around that long. Yeah. Yeah. Harley Davidson did the same thing. Bud Light did the same thing. He, it's over and over again that they keep on wanting to do this. Uh, and it's like, I don't know what's wrong with, a certain group of people that, that they see what the consequences of going this way. And it's like, well, everybody says it's, the peer group say it's the cool thing to do. This is where the path we need to go because that would make us more in tune of a minority of, and you want to turn around and then y'all realize, then they don't realize that they're actually, you know, their their goals and their everything they're actually doing is catering to a minority, a group of people, and when they lose a majority, that's their business. Maybe corporate woke samurai code. Maybe they are trying to allow the businesses. Like I said, it's. I know there's a new way for them to make money. It's an evil way to make money. You people lose their jobs. They lose. I feel bad for the people that work there. Like a Cracker Barrel. These poor waitresses and cooks and stuff. I mean, especially waitresses uh, and the waiters. Where you're sitting there. You're banking on good tips. You're banking on after Sunday. Uh, you know, dinner and stuff like that. And now all this happened, and ain't nobody showing up. So you're gonna have to go down the road and find you a new restaurant, to go work for, because this one right here ain't gonna be, unless they want to try to hold out, and it's bad on the people, it's bad on the that work for them, that they had no choice in this. Someone like they went to their employees and say, "Hey, we got a good idea. What do y'all think of this?" Man, they never do that shit. They never going to. They just like, we're going to do this and run with it. It's a Oh man, hey Jason. Uh, yeah, I figured what the hell? It's a Monday morning. Let me throw one out here real quick. I was sitting there and setting up my throwbacks for Tuesday. I was doing my shorts for the next couple weeks, and then my show for Friday, and hell, I'm right here. Let's let her rip. Uh, I hate to hear your internet still down though. That sucks. That would drive me nuts, especially out here where I live, where I got no good phone service. Hiker, what's up, Hiker? Cool, cool. Yeah, I'm just sitting there talking about the Cracker Barrel. My mom, we talked about it Wednesday on the show. That I was gonna go to Cracker Barrel and do an investigation. Check it out. Just and see what the kind of crap. But um, my mom, my mom said no, so we went to Perkins. It's a restaurant down here. For breakfast and stuff like that. They got big ass muffins and fresh baked muffins and all that kind of stuff. Their bakery, they got great baked goods and stuff like that for you can eat like dessert. And Cracker Barrel is a country crock. Mom said I guess she went on there like she didn't realize it. Oh, nice hiker. I don't know how far Perkins goes. I'm wondering on that. Uh, I've been going to this Perkins for 20 plus years. It's always been good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. It's just a regular like restaurant, I guess you'd say. But at least it had good portions and stuff like that. Mom, I was telling I was telling Yona and anybody else was listening how uh, we had to turn around and uh, she said she went up there and held their portions were so small, like it was like a little kiddie portions, like you're eating off the kids menu. Of course, the prices weren't kids menu, but she's like, hell with it. She usually don't complain about little stuff like that, but she was like, nope. I said, we're gonna go down here. I'm like, all right, we're gonna go down here. Oh dang, having troubles, Jason. It's Monday morning. You're supposed to have trouble. That's the way Monday mornings are. But I don't know. It was like it really is. It don't make any sense why they did. You know, unless they're trying to tank Cracker Barrel so they can make money off the back end. Like you see it. We've seen it over and over again. would they would they not let you speak to a American, Jason? Have they turn around and go, hey, let me? Because I know some of them will. They'll let you. They'll actually let you. Like, hey, look, I'm having troubles. I can't talk to this person. Uh, I don't know, understand what the hell they're saying. I'd play dumb. Just play dumb with them. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. They'll actually push you down to a better person. Oh, heck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they took the golden eggs off and serving roasted goose. hell, hell, they probably freaking, as dumb as them damn people are that they do the things, they probably turn around and if they had a golden goose, they would fucking cook the golden goose just to spite themselves. I get this golden goose making all this money and dropping these golden eggs, and then they're like, I think that we could make monies cooking this one damn goose, and they would do it. Hell, flow chart. We got the Shadow trying to be part of the show. Go on, Shadow. Yeah, I said I want to just. Hey, yo, Jason. Here's an idea. Dang, that's crazy. At least you got to talk to people. Hell, half the time you just talking to AI now. Every time I'm trying to have them troubles, and you had to figure out the right combination of when you're dealing with something to get them to actually talk to an operator. You try to argue with the damn AI. It's like, let me talk to somebody, anybody, and then they ask you another question, like, just piss you off all the way. Absolute. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about the Cracker Barrel stuff, and then let's kind of see what's going on in the world. I was going to bring up the Rampage Jackson's son. If y'all seen that mess, I guess he didn't take lightly to a getting hit in the head with that beer can. I love dude. That's why I love doing this because of chat. I swear. Is the chat's the best fun. You find people and I just love it. I really do. No, I really do. But yeah, that man, that that man with that, he got beat down by Rampage Jackson on Raja. That's freaking crazy. It's crazy on it. It don't make any sense. It's like, okay, you got, he hit him in the head with a full beer can, you know, like the day before, and then no problem, Jason. I'll be on for another half an hour. I usually try to do an hour. And then he, and for the ones that hadn't seen it, let's see if I can find the video of. Instead, this is what he's going to be known for. Show this that video. It's rough. Being in the MMA community, and I love professional wrestling. And um, which I know a bunch of professional wrestlers. I've known for I sponsor some local events through my gym. I actually sponsor a wrestling promotion and stuff like that. It's and seeing this right here is just crazy.
Shit, man. Stop the shit, man.
All the little indie wrestlers. Crazy. Yeah, and I came from this.
Hey, I think that's a Oh, you don't sell it? He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it? No, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro. No, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will.
No.
We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro. I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that.
No, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. I got you.
I do not play that shit at all.
Nah, I got you. You good. Apologize for that, man. Fix that.
Crazy. This doggone computer don't want to. Never hang around people no shirts. Yeah. No doubt about it. You know, that's what you see a lot of the indie wrestlers and, you know, the small shows and stuff like that. You know, they're big guys and they're just having fun. Hell, they ain't getting paid to do shit. They ain't, you know, they're getting $50 and they get to help take down the fucking ring. That's what they get, you know, for these little small promotions. You know, maybe $100, $200. Yeah. I don't think he was I don't think he was drunk. It was, you know, he was trying to be making up, you know, like he was trying to, you know, bring some beef or something for the wrestling show, but it turned into hell, you know, because he that's what he got for it. But there's no point in all that. Oh, I forgot I wasn't sharing. Huh. Idiot. Some days I act like I ain't never done this before. Someday. But they knocked him out in a slam. There ain't no call for all that though. Like I said, I don't think he was drunk. He was just trying to build up the show, whatever. But I mean, he was doing with somebody that he's not a wrestler. He's an MMA fighter. He trained for MMA. I don't know. What's up, Miss Honeybee? Appreciate you popping in. Like I said, it's kind of last minute. Got Scott Carlo popped in on us too on the Rumble side, and I don't know. It is crazy. But I think they're gonna mess around and get due for attempted murder. You know, that's because it sounds cool. Like let me play this video real quick with the guy that got just beat the hell up. Like he's just a cool dude.
Pro in 2009. I had just got out of the military, probably about 6 months earlier. I got out of the military. I joined Knox Pro, you know, because I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me adjust back into civilian life. You know, a lot of veterans, it's hard for them to readjust into civilian life coming from the life of the military. I'm an American soldier that suffers from PTSD. Being in front of a crowd, it doesn't give me as much anxiety and aggression as I thought it would. Pro in 2000.
Yeah, once he KO'd, I mean, he should have stopped. I mean, he absolutely blacked out. Could be, Jason. I don't know his story, or he might have just, being that, went pro in '09, he might have been a lot leaner when he first got into it. But yeah, he should have stopped. There was no point in that. And he was still trying to hurt him, after that, But Miss Honeybee, he did not die. He's supposed to be recovering. Uh, but that's absolutely the way he was trying to beat him to the ground was like premeditated. It was premeditated, damn near murder. It's wild, wild. Oh damn, that's crazy. The ref, I think, was in shock. He was just standing there, like I don't know why he didn't try to stop it. I mean, I guess he, trying to stay kayfabe and stuff because they actually pinned him afterwards because to make it stay with the wrestling. But they should have just called an X and said, you know, pulled him out, which they do it on the big shows. If somebody gets bad hurt, they'll roll them up real quick, and or they'll say like, it's time to go home, and they'll do it real quick. Roll them up, pin them, and get the hell out of there because they get hurt. But I wanted to be, a pro wrestler at one time. I wanted to do that, but wasn't there. Uh, I don't know. Crazy, crazy. Should be gonna be, and you'd think they want you to have more muscle, Jason. You think you want to be as much as you can. Hell, oh, shit! I just seen this right here. I was about to show something else, but this kid is fucked. Absolutely fucked. He's
I'm gonna really have to show him, like, nigga, you can't just hit a fucking can on my goddamn face. I'm really going to hit him. I'm telling you. I'm dead serious. This shit's not gonna be scripted. I'm telling you. I know all wrestling is script. I'm talking about what I'm gonna do to the guy.
So he was on his kick feed, telling exactly what he's about to do. He's not getting out of that. He's not getting out of that. But it's gonna be on another ADD moment. Like I said, this ain't planned. This is me having fun. But I seen him ask about uh, They asked Trump about Memphis, and we talked about that for the last couple of weeks on the show about how they're going to turn around and they're going to try to take over Memphis like they did DC because of how much crime and everything, and it's coming. And so it's like it's pretty neat to I guess realize that hey you know we're ahead of the curve or whatever, but it's still kind of messed up. What's up, Puff Puff? Appreciate you popping in on here on my little lunch, having fun. It's Monday morning. Figured to talk about some Cracker Barrel and some Rampage's son, and whatever pops up in the chat. We can whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm cool with that. Just here to having fun, and it is what it is. Yeah, I can see that, Jason. They need to, because I mean they're the ones that are allowing it. Uh, the politicians that are getting paid, and just embezzling all the money on the city. Um, I've seen Memphis politics for years and years. It's always been a Democratic city, and it shows. You know, worst, murder capital of the nation. Even though it's not a very big city, but we're number one. We beat Detroit, beat St. Louis. Violent crime number one. You know, and they've letting it get so far. I mean, it used to be, Memphis used to be rough, and you had to watch where like go which block. You go 3 blocks, you're in a good spot. But you watch, you turn around and if you drive around Memphis, you see people like they know like how far they can go and they turn around and circle back. Like wait a minute, like we're riding bikes or something. Yeah, I mean, well, because the voting won't get them out because there's a bunch of ignorant ass people that won't vote them out. We had, and speaking of Memphis politics, we had Ricky Smiley was embezzling money, went to prison, got out, ran for office again. They voted that motherfucker in again, and he went back to stealing again. It's uh, that's how dumb some of these people are. That they're like, well, that's it's the name I know, or that's who I want. I'm like, you're gonna vote right back in the same damn person that absolutely stole money, and they don't care. And of course, there's a lot of uh, you know, you know, deceased people voting for some of these people too. So it's that you get that issue, where you're not going to be able to turn around and and beat some people because their voting system is, they got a shit ton of dead people voting for them. Yeah, I yeah, we need for a president, we need a third choice. They need to be able to, and that, and we have, and then if you hear people talk, well, you have a choice. You got, you know, you got other parties, but they're not allowed to get up there and even people can see them. You have to be able to get up there. They haven't let a third party, an independent, run and debate the Democratic or Republicans since Ross Perot destroyed freaking Bush and Clinton and made them both look like a fool. And the reason Clinton got in was because Ross Perot took a lot of Republican vote his way because he made sense and he was. So they're not going. That's why they won't allow that third party up there because they don't want them to split one side or the other. They might be kind of fence riding, but we need. That's what we need. We need to be able to have at least 3 or 4, really. Yeah, I agree. Especially, we saw with Bernie Sanders and Hillary, with the uh, electorals and stuff for just, for that party wise, hell, he would win the state, but she would get the votes. It was, um, it showed how kind of a crooked, twisted censor. Yeah, we got the damn census, you know, and that's why they're trying to, we get all that shit going on down in Texas and then California's fussing out. Oh yeah, yeah. Bernie, explained. I think I'm surprised more people uh, didn't come to light over Bernie, and I think a lot of people did. A lot of people didn't vote for that. A lot of people didn't vote in that election because of they saw what a lot of Democrat voters did not vote because it's how Trump won that first year for sure. I still think to this day, and I've said it a bunch of times, I think Bernie would have beat Trump. I mean, he's wanting to give away the freaking world. I don't know what kind of country we would have had if Bernie would have cut a guy in and started giving everybody everything they wanted. But I think Bernie would have beat Trump. He had the young vote. He had he could have had a senior vote because hell, he'd been in there forever and ever and ever. I think he would have, but they had their, the Democratic Party had their heart on that they wanted Hillary in there, and that's, they wanted that Clinton machine in there, and they weren't taking no for an answer. Yeah, I know a bunch didn't too, Jason. Yeah, I know a bunch that did not vote at all, just like F it. But in the following election, they knew they went back, and yeah, Papa, we talking about Kamala, pushing for the census. That's because they were trying to, in 2020 they were pushing all, you know, you know, they were trying to census all the illegals. They were trying to census all of them so they could actually change, and get more Democratic, representatives because look, there's more this way, so we got to change it, But that's why they're actually working on redoing the census. Um, I said that you can go back probably November or not even November. I think October on the show and September, October. We were talking about that. I think they did. I think they knew they fucked up with Biden and he couldn't run. They knew like it was guaranteed. So kind of him saving face, they threw Kamala in there knowing there's no way in hell. They threw a bunch of money at it now, but Democrats likes wasting money, so that's not a surprise. Um, but but I think they did. I think they knew that election was done. Trump only, long as no laws get changed, and what happens in the midterms, we get enough people, but they know, okay, we can feed Kamala to Trump. Trump's going to win. We'll have them 4 years, and then we can actually throw a big name at it. You know, um, maybe throw Michelle up in there. Maybe throw, I know they got a hard on for Newsom. They were trying to freaking fix Newsom's image. That's why he started doing his little podcast and stuff, or he could possibly run. Um, no, they're going to try to throw a big name. What people would probably try to vote for on this next one. But they really, it, you see more and more people talk about it that they really have lost, sight of, the hardcore, true, like, Democrats party. You know, the the Democratic Party is leaning. The politicians are still trying to go to the extreme side, and so I don't think it's going to take. I don't know what they're going to try to do the next couple of years, but the politicians still yelling, the extreme side of things. So I don't know, and then, the voter base is actually more moderate, so they might have pushed more people over here. But then we still got crazy stuff going on the on Republican side. And, one day Trump does something that does good, and one day he does something that you just go, "What the f did he just do?" Jason, I made the same comment. I made the same comment. This is he is making a precedent. Uh, Whatever, whatever happens, uh, whoever comes in next, if they do get a Democrat party, and then so that's the possibility of us having just that pendulum swinging harder and faster every four. If we switch parties every 4 years on who's the president, and then this all they're doing is doing executive orders and changing everything the former person did, and nothing happens, nothing even potentially good happens, because it takes time for all that stuff to roll down. It's just it can turn into an absolute collapse shit show. Yeah, let some minions get arrested. Yeah. Oh, it would be absolute chaos every 4 years. We just swap back and forth, just boom, 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 boom. You know, uh, man, what kind of world will we live in? God only knows, because it'd be an absolute shit show, absolute shit show. Um, because it's absolutely scary. That's the thought process of, what could happen and what we're looking at. It will be fun to watch. I hadn't seen that, Jason, about the aluminum tariff. Like I said, I mean, one moment he does stuff that makes sense, and then he turn around like that. So it's like, okay, who's uh who's greasing his hand on that side? Well, we know, the lithium mines and all that shit. So they're going to, so all these people that's built this infrastructure for the other style battery, they don't want they want nothing efficient and cheap. They like these $20,000 freaking dollar fucking batteries. Yeah, surely, yeah. If I, you know, electric vehicles is a good option for people who don't travel, who don't, um, you know, live downtown. Like if you live downtown and you work downtown, hell, you could have an EV and run around, um, and you just plug it in, you're good to go. How you go a week without plugging your damn thing in. Uh, that don't surprise me none. There's a reason Elon put himself in a position where he could move, adjust. Yeah, yeah. I mean, when they first started talking battery and technology, and I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool. Uh, I wanted to actually build me a little electric vehicle. It'd be kind of cool to have one. Just. Uh, but them actually pushing it as you know, the only way we can go and all that stuff. It's like, well, we don't have the infrastructure to do it. Our infrastructure is not there. We're not spending a lot of money like, if we were spending money like China does and building freaking infrastructure and new power down, plants uh, and railway systems and all that shit, actually building them and not just taking the money and put it in somebody's pocket like Newsom did in California. There are, there's a means to it. Like I got electric little lawnmower. Uh, I like that little thing. I don't have to worry about no gas. I don't got to worry about having a little battery. I got two batteries for it. One of them is charged, Uzi on the charger, and the other one's out. And I run around and I can cut my grass with it. Um, I don't have to worry about no gas. I don't have to worry about if I got gas or my gas has gone bad or oil or anything. It's nice. I like battery power stuff, but with your, for actual cars and getting around and actual, you man, who wants to sit there? And I know we have to have this structure and everything, these models to get to the point where they can keep getting them better and better and better, where they could actually do what we want to do. But if you turn around, you got to sit here for 45 minutes, an hour to make it just down the road a little bit farther, and you can't take that shit on road trips. Hiker, that could be. It could be maybe a potential intentional grid collapse. Let me make sure my words aren't twisting around. I could see that. I could actually see that. They're turning around and wanting it to fall apart because I mean, uh, why? And then you have to, have brownouts and bailouts and stuff, and I don't know. And that's one of them things, and Trump just killed the you know wind power and solar, for alternative alternative energy, which I really think solar would be good, but I don't agree with how they're doing it. I don't know why. Me personally, I don't know why they don't. If they're going to use, you're going to use solar power. Why don't we? Why don't we put them in parking lots? Why don't we cover parking lots and have covering parking so the cars won't get so damn hot? And then you got millions of acres of parking lots. You could put the infrastructure right there in the city. Have covered parking for everybody instead of taking farmland or potential housing land or anything like that and put these things, And I know, and windmills, they're just a waste of damn energy. You never, what I understand, you never recoup the cost of a windmill, not to mention all the life loss in a windmill. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that at all either, Jason. That's what that's the thing. A lot of people don't. They're like, "Well, I'm gonna do this way and be, green." But then if you don't look into what it takes to make these items to go green, you know, yeah, yeah. I've seen it's crazy. I mean, I know with the windmills. I mean, plus you got, um, you guys, stupid. Damn, I gotta set that. I gotta remember to set the snooze on my damn laptop, or it won't be trying to cut off every 5 seconds. That's it, And I know somebody has a bunch of land. I won't say the way I'm gonna try to word it where I won't call nobody out. I know somebody has a bunch of land, and I was asking, if he's going to develop it for certain industry and stuff, and he told me no, because he can actually turn around and plant trees on this damn land and sell it for tax credits for people that need it for the offset. So, you know, if you're polluting and all you got to do is buy, these energy credits or these, whatever credits from these another company to pay for, to compensate for your pollution, that's not doing anything. You're not fixing pollution. You're absolutely just shuffling money around and making people rich and having the same pollution and the same problems without. Well, I bet, Jason. I bet you do. Company I used for, they would come out there and drill some holes in the ground, see if you have any gravel or whatever material in it, see if they can mine it. Yeah, that don't surprise me. Hey, you're good, Puff Puff. You can put some links in the description. I ain't gonna. That's the good thing about Rumble. You can drop some good links and some good stuff. I want you to. The people I don't know and the kind of the questionable links. We're gonna stop that. Uh, I don't even think I. Well, that's right. I got Jason's my mod over there right now. It's supposed to have hikers supposed to. Oh, Rumble being Rumble, I guess. Rumble and being rumbling. Rumble's always doing rumble. Yeah, it's not got. Huh. I had to look into that. Yeah, yeah. Put whatever links you want to. What's up? What's up, Wally? Click on that link that Uh, yeah, I'll put you as one. I was adding mods the other day. I thought I added you on this one, Hiker, though. Yeah, I think I have. Wally. Hell, I don't know. Wally on a YouTube chat. I got me a few views on my new short. Speaking of shorts, I don't have none missing. Yeah. Yeah, Wally, I just figured I'd pop on today. I was doing other stuff and setting stuff up on the YouTube, and figured why not? Let's let her rip and see who pops up and just have a good conversation this morning. Be a good day for it. Uh, but yeah, we're uh, and they're using crazy amounts of energy. They're using crazy amounts of uh, uh, water. Nice. I missed it. I missed it Saturday. Uh, I need to go back and watch it. I missed Nights of the Storm Saturday because I was doing side work. Yeah, I don't know what's going on your keyboard. It's like almost like you're two different people there, Wally. But no, I haven't seen any comments. I don't have none missed on you. Yeah, the state should be have to vote on that kind of stuff. You know, if it's this that's what's going to affect them on all the AI, the data centers, and all that. They got one coming in here in Mississippi. Um, they keep poking. Well, you know, they picked Memphis for it. Elon picked Memphis. I think he just went in, but a lot of the others, a lot of the others are going all these small town little communities and stuff like that. I did see one where they turn around, and the city made them pay for a bunch of infrastructure and all kinds of stuff. But it's still, in the end of the day, they're um, they're turn around and still going to be using the resources and probably all their damn water. Uh, we can't. They were talking about you know having water issues for years. Especially out west. How the hell are we supposed to keep up with all these data centers and we're already, you know, what are we going to do? Pump the Great Lakes over there? Huh? That's weird, Wally. I don't know why it's not. Like I said, I hadn't seen them. I haven't blocked them. None of them. I know that's you. They probably are. Um, let's see where that. I know that. Data center. Here, right here, show y'all this. I was looking for what that little town was. Said it was 20 billion of investments, $20 billion of investments. Mississippi State's claim was the next big data center player. So they're going to come down to one of the poorest states in the nation and start buying up the land and effing with people. Get out of here. Approved $44 million in incentives trying to get. The thing about it is, like, you know, they're talking about jobs, but those don't have a. Yeah, none of these sub bitches know what the hell a show is. Absolutely. You see they're all leaning on it. You know, they don't create jobs. They only got like 40 people or something like that working in any of these things. If that, it ain't a lot of people working there. You know, it ain't like you're building warehouse manufacturing. You know, like if you're bringing in a new floor plan or something like that. But you know, you're not building jobs. They really have. They really have just turned around and burned us down for the money. You know, they pretty sold us out, and it's like, you know, they're planning on another pandemic. You know, they're poisoning the water. They're trying to get us all injected with all this crap. It's so much stuff coming from all angles right now. We got you get the IDs. They want us to damn turn around and put the monitoring our health and seeing where we're at and what we're doing. You know, they already monitor everything we buy and shop. Um, you know, it don't make any sense. Don't make any sense, and we're allowing it. Absolutely allowing it. Um, hopefully, yeah. By 2030, 2030 is going to be a new country. I don't know what that means, but you know, they have an agenda and they've been ramping it up. Um, from the research I've done and what I've been told, you know, the reasoning behind 9/11 was because they were behind on their plans, so they had to ramp everything up. So they did 9/11 to ramp everything up. Um, and you know what they put in the Patriot Act. Uh, this show is for your entertainment purposes only. Don't believe nothing I'm saying, but They put in a Patriot Act so they can get away with a murder and do their surveillance on all the people. And, now they're, want to ramp it up more and have us wearing wearables so they know exactly what we're doing and how our bodies are working. And that's going to affect insurance rates. It's going to affect, well, if you don't have your wearable, it's just like, you know, I know Progressive did it a while back with you or you get that little, a lot of insurance companies got to where you can plug it into your vehicle. You get the little, uh, and it tells them if you're speeding or if you're driving fast or accelerating fast, and it tells on you. And if you drive slow and like an old grandma, then they'll your it'll lower your insurance rates and all that kind of shit. It's going to be the same thing, but with our health. Yeah. 2030 I agree, Jason, will be a new Western world. It's going to be, that was amazing showing, during 2020, during the COVID situation, pandemic, you know, all these nations, you know, was all on board and just like, okay, let's do this. Do. Yeah, let's lock our people down. Let's prosecute them. If they try to go out to a park and get fresh air, well, no, we can't have none of that. You got to have a mask on so you can keep breathing this same bacteria or whatever's in your nose back in your, coming out of your mouth back in your nose. Uh, it's a wild freaking world. Yeah, and you know, the whole the BRICS nations and all that. I don't, you know, it wouldn't surprise me when it's all said and done. Everything like if everything got the truth open up and everybody has sitting there and everybody see it like everybody just together, like we're watching our world politics is a professional wrestling show. All these people that hate each other are in the back being buddy buddy. If we turn around and kill our own people, they don't care. Brother Willie must be live. Yeah, tell Willie I said hi. You know, it's like um, let's see. Let me I got it on my notes right here. Where's it at? And, it's like they were like in the Philippines. They were turning around and they actually, they CIA fake vampire attacks. I'm gonna be having a short on it coming up soon. What's up, Karen? Appreciate you popping up. I just decided I'll just pop on for lunch and actually I've gone longer than I planned on, but that's all right. We're having a good conversation. Uh, Jason's over on Rumble and Hiker and Puff Puff, and we're having fun right now. But yeah, they turn around and actually they found folklore where there was a blood sucking shape shifting monster. So the CIA ran around and started capturing villagers and killing them and stabbing two holes in their neck and hang them upside down so their blood would drain and to scare the people. And then, and of course, during Vietnam, they played uh, from speakers. They played ghost haunted sounds of you know in in their native tongue, saying that they're lost um, and come home. My soul wanders in agony. Just eerie things. They had to be careful where they actually played it. It was Operation Wandering Soul. If you want to look it up, uh, there you go. Nothing wrong with that, Karen. Yeah, Operation Wandering Soul. I heard that the other day and had to look it up. Yeah, it's messed up. Yeah, absolutely. Um, they did. I seen. Yeah, lots of speculation Karen said there's speculation. There's a lot of cattle mutilation and alien abductions were all military operations, and I think so. I watched. Uh, let's see. Was talking about down in Argentina, I think it was, and there's a pretty good idea that was actual. The military was doing an operation, I think in Argentina, where they were actually cutting people's faces off and killing them, and they were using spread. Don't know this for a fact, but they were using experimental, technology, these hover packs, the exoskeletons, which they've been working on for a long time. Um, and so they were just, you know, I still don't understand, like, well, other than they were trying to scare people off, I guess. Um, I think that's where it was. It was, let's see, there, it's like out down in Peru, because they had a thing called the face peelers and stuff. So they started cutting people's faces off, but that one of the persons that got survived and escaped, they heard one person had an American accent, and one of the things had a uh, Peruvian accent, and but the only thing that showed is like impact, like a big round spots where like when it shot in the sky. I have not talked about the Canadian government. Yeah, I played House of Wolves in the Wild to scare people. I have not talked about that one, Karen. Yeah, it's uh, you know, it's like what the hell, what the hell for? You know, what is the point? Yeah, I mean, what's the point if that's who's doing it? Like, what is the point of them doing it? I mean, I don't understand it. And like and who's just following orders? Like, well, go over here and kill this girl right here and cut her face off. Uh, and then the government, the Peruvian government, um, they 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 said that it was miners on jetpacks was the ones was doing it. I'm like, whoop, this is it. I remember hearing about it a long time ago, and yeah, there was miners on jetpacks, and that was it. And like, but everything was super quiet. Like, how the hell does that work? It is sick. I don't know. They're just demented. I mean, it's evil, uh, satanic worshiping bastards. Yeah, and then that's what the government came out and said. That's all it was just miners on jetpacks. Though the jetpacks make noise, and they said it was quiet, and and jetpacks, ones you can get don't last very long, and these they said were flying around for hours and stuff. I agree there. Fauci should be locked up and thrown away the key, but it's like a lot of these fuckers need to be, but it's like who's going to be the ones that's going to put them in jail? They're all of them are corrupt. All of them are all of them have dirt on them. So it's like, hey, if I put you in jail, hell, you're just as dirty as me, kind of deal. Who's going to be able to take some of these people down? And I don't know. That is the question for sure. Oh, sorry. I kind of woke up and then messed around and worked on the podcast, and then here I am. It's sad world we live in, Jason. Yeah, we got to have dating apps to know who is vaxxed and who's not, and uh, you know, or it's like one of them things. Like, okay, uh, do you give somebody a pass if they only got one, or they freaking 15 boostered in? You leave them alone. If they got a bunch of boosters, you kind of leave them alone. Uh, maybe I know they got it. I know they got the apps that can tell you what's up, Blackjack. Blackjack guitar in the house. Uh, Shoot, I know I sure didn't. I know work was mad at me, and they were like, "Well, I had the president company come down one time. I know I told the story a bunch of times. He come down and he's all being excited or whatever. He's like, y'all, when y'all having the free time and have a little moment, y'all can be talking about vaccines." I'm like, "We do talk about them." So we ain't want to know what we say about them. And he got quiet and left. So they be alone. I told my boss, it's like if they come across mandatory that we all have to get them, you just lost the whole crew. We're leaving. And the only thing saved me and all of us was when the owners was saying he didn't agree with it either. So he saved us from having to not go across the board. And then later on, the president came out a couple of years later. He apologized. "I'm sorry, I was wrong on them," and but they were pushing on it and pushing that agenda that's what they're told to do. Oh, they had that. You know, trust the science. Trust the science. Sound like a damn parrot. Oh, nice. Nice, Concala. Nothing wrong with that. It's, it could be. Yeah, I've seen Zeitgeist, the movie, Wally. We got you know, and let me throw this out here while we're talking about crazy stuff. Uh, what do y'all think about? I think it was CEO of BlackRock is now the head of the WEC. It's let me make sure I'm saying it. Uh, I think I'm right. Yeah, he is yeah, Larry F. and Fink, appointed as interim co-chairman of WEC World Economic Forum. Oh yeah, private prisons. That's the reason private prisons are very profitable. That's why they want to lock everybody up for all these little bitty bullshit charges. Oh hell, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Jason, he said, if you read from the white papers about the mRNA, you get banned for life from YouTube. That's wild. Yeah, I know. I had to. I said some things. Actually, I didn't even say nothing. I showed a video where somebody else was saying something about Uncle Bill, and um, they turned around and they knocked me, and I had to do a training class of how about the shit on YouTube. I had to go ahead multiple choices, and it if you clicked the wrong one, hell, you had to go until you clicked the right one, basically. But uh, you know, I don't know. Yeah, 30 million people. The numbers they know are bloated to hell because they put anything and everything. You could have had a heart attack, and it was they were registering everything under it across the board. So we know the numbers are bloated of how many actually, and during that time, flu was deaths were down quite a bit. They were down to zero during the same time. So I don't know. We cured the flu while the COVID pandemic was going on. That was pretty impressive, I think. But I'm not a doctor. Don't take doctor advice from me. We just this is for entertainment purposes. But yeah, we really don't know the actual count. I absolutely don't know the actual count, and we never will. Um, yeah, because I mean, they were on the news saying, "Oh, these are if you take the if you take the little jab, then you will never get sick." And then, huh? People got sick, and they turn around. Well, now you gotta take this booster. Now you gotta take this second booster. Now you gotta put 3 masks on you. They're doubling up masks, and I'm like, when does this get ridiculous? When does this actually, people actually open their minds, and go, this is absolutely bullshit. Yeah, they're still. I don't doubt it, Karen. They're still trying to bury flu, and you know, um, they're trying to push it where you know, well, people stay sick longer. Well, what my computer doing over here? Oh yeah, nice blackjack. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All, all them damn medication stuff they got now. Uh, if you if you look at the side effects and what they cause people, and good God, even on acne or something like that, you take this and they could probably you could possibly give you a heart attack. You could possibly die. You could probably like I'll be good. I'll just have I'll have a pimple. Hell, I'll be good. Or I'll be bald. It's okay. I'm not I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. Jason, it very could. It very could cause immune disorders. It uh you keep flooding different things into your body. Like could be. I'm gonna get kicked off YouTube. So if you don't see me on YouTube Wednesday, I'll be on Rumble. Let me throw this one out here. I'm gonna talk about this Wednesday. Got it saved in my folder here. This jackass here.
It's very hard to fight the deception, the lies, the starved children, the pictures of starved children who turn out to have cerebral palsy or other congenital diseases that leave them emaciated. And Israel is, of course, accused of starving children, pretty much the way that in the Middle Ages Jews were accused of killing Christian children for their blood. So what do you do against the lie that circles the earth 10 times before the truth has a chance to emerge? You have to shorten the war as speedily as possible. And frankly, we also have to do something about the algorithms and the social networks. This is a big challenge. I don't want to dismiss it. It's very hard to.
Yeah, censorship. That how do you did use? I mean, his own people. I don't know. They don't care. I don't think they care. Oh, absolutely. I agree, Jason. You can't. You got to let your body rest, and you got to bombardment of stuff. Um, yeah. Over here, I'm quiet. I know. I'm over here reading comments. That's the best part. Is like I said, the best part of me doing this stuff is the chat and everybody on here. Just um, I appreciate you, Snooks. It's all good. Like I said, I was uh, just figured I'd pop on for a little bit, and hell, I messed around, been on for an hour and a half now. So, but got a good conversation going on both Rumble and YouTube, and why not? I I could be wrong now, Snooks. I could be wrong now. He had a better chance than Hillary. He would have done better than Hillary. Absolutely. He might not beat him. He might not beat him. I don't know. But he had a whole lot better chance than old Hillary for sure, though. Oh yeah, yeah. They're all fucking evil pieces of garbage. Absolutely. You got Bernie, talking about all the rich and then people have this money and we need to take the money from the people and rah, 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 and then he got all these three fucking he's got three fucking multi-million-dollar fucking houses and shit, and but he's one for the people and shit. What's up, Bat? Yeah, tell Bat I said hi. Yeah, now I'm here. I'm live and living in color. Yeah, that's a good point, Jason. I probably do. If you let's see me. Yeah, yeah, I'm here, Bat, during the day. I want to do this like probably try to do this every get it at least a couple times in a week. Do some lunchtime stuff because I mean there's always stuff to talk about and all this crazy stuff. Um, for my YouTube friends here, if you don't see me on YouTube, here's the Rumble link. Y'all follow me on Rumble too, because I'm gonna keep on keeping on, and eventually I'm gonna get booted. Uh, but it is what it is. I'm gonna just tell the truth and tell how I feel, and um, yeah, I understand, Snooks. I like calling out everybody's wrong. They're wrong. I don't think they should have anybody, uh, you know, we shouldn't be mesmerized by none of these fucking people that are up on our TV to the point where we can't have common sense and have rational thought of our own. I already got like 2 strikes. And they popped me off, and I was limited for a long time on YouTube because I know I was. Um, I was limited for a while. It seemed like I was like, man, I ain't never gonna grow my damn channel because they had me locked up, and then I did that um, training class, and then it finally 3 months later it popped off, and it's been a little better. But yeah, it's crazy when my Rumble channel outgrows my YouTube channel. It don't make sense with so many more people on YouTube than Rumble. There's something up with that. Yeah, there's only one God, and it's not Trump or the government. They are not. Trump is not a God. Though he's trying to get to heaven by stopping wars, is what he said. He's trying to get to heaven. Yeah, Rumble is a slow grind. It's slowly, you can add more and more and more. Um, I see Rumble likes live. People on Rumble likes live content better than pre-recorded. Seems like I do a lot better. I bet I do better on live than I do on pre-recorded, but I'm still gonna put it out there. Yeah, it seems like some of them countries don't want to stop their wars. Well, why? Because they're getting money. They're getting money and loans from the banking industries, and or they getting money, from us, or we're supporting. Um, and we're steadily, sending all this crap over to people. Yeah, I love the live chat, uh, too, Joe Jason. Just having the conversation and having the ideas of, you know, I know me personally, I don't know everything. I'm still learning and growing on every aspect of my life. So it's good to have smart, intelligent people in the chat, I can talk to. And I know they just had an update the other day. I needed to read that damn thing. I say you just had an update for your terms of service. It was a bunch of terms of service come up recently. I get emails saying, this update terms of service, this update for this program, blah blah blah. Going down the line. Um, I don't think Rumble got bought out by BlackRock. Let me ask. That's a good question, Blackjack. Their stock is at $7.58. BlackRock has now. BlackRock owns 1.88%. They own a little bit. Vanguard owns 2.6, and State Street 0.69. So they don't own much of any of it. So combined, hell, they own 5%. But yeah, State Street, the big three, BlackRock and Vanguard, they only own 5%. So they're not up in the big boys. Yeah, so they can still do what they want to do and produce whatever they want to put out there. Damn. But so yeah, um, you know, check out the Rumble. Like I said, if you don't see me over here on YouTube, I'm gonna be over there on. I got um, so y'all click that link and subscribe to me and come on there and subscribe to Nights of the Storm, and there's a bunch of other good shows on there. Does it? It's just a matter of time. We get Jason on here next month with 9/11 or 9/11 show this year, and that might be it. It might be the straw that broke the camel's back. Dang, Karen. Lost power 3 times in 24 hours. Glad I'd had that problem. At least it's a little cooler than it has been, so it won't. Maybe it won't take it. Maybe it'll be back home before it gets hot in the house. I need to invest in well, I want one of them standby generators and stuff. I got a generator I can run power off of. I need to. But I want one of them standbys where it switches on its own. Because there's going to be a time we need it more and more. Oh my goodness, 104. What is it today? 85 right now here. I think, yeah, it's supposed to be a high 87. Actually supposed to get down to 50s tomorrow for a low. That'll be nice. Only 99 today. Hell, y'all gonna have to put a jacket on. Yeah, I had to put a jacket on. Man, I can't believe I've been on for almost 2 hours now. Holy hell. Yeah. You got to do what's right. Nice blackjack. 56 degrees this morning. Yeah. Little law. Pull out the Long Johns and insulated socks. Now, Jason, you gotta stay to do what you're supposed to do and keep to your if you don't believe him or doing, cut him out. Cut him out. Oh, that's a lot of them companies do that. You start digging around and seeing all the shell companies and you know, like they're talking about Trump going bankrupt and shit. Hell, that's just a normal way of doing business. You go bankrupt and then move and shuffle money and then turn around and come back bigger and better. Yeah, that's the pros and cons of the LLCs. You can't hold people accountable on them, like so that's a good part for small business. If you have if you're a businessman and you're a small business, you can't lose your house and all that kind of stuff. But then on the flip side, if somebody's doing a bunch of evil fucking shit, you can't make them pay either, though. That's crazy. I've been on this long. Anybody's allowed on my show. I had Whitney was on a while back. So I had a woman on my show. You're sure welcome. You're sure welcome to come on. I'm dropped the link in the thing. Just not today though. But you can come on anytime you want to, Karen. I'm about to call today. I gotta start getting ready. Got some stuff I need to do before I had to go teach the kids some how to fight. Yeah, I'm about to. But yeah, y'all know anybody welcome, especially all the people here. Y'all want to come on? Y'all, I'm glad to have people come on and talk and share their insight. It's good. Yeah, next month I'll be about a month or so. Yeah, about a month. It won't be next month. It'll be. We'll figure that out. Tried to schedule it on my daughter's wedding. That wasn't going to work. But yeah, I'll be back on Nights of the Storm. Come back on. We'll have a good time. I know. I had a lot of fun last time. So, so y'all, all my YouTube friends over here for sure, y'all, uh, get on the Rumble and follow Nights of the Storm. So when I go, I'll be over there next. I think we figured out October 4th, maybe. I don't know. I think that's the day we figured out. I don't know. So thanks, Blackjack. Guitar, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Wally, I appreciate y'all coming on. Uh, Karen and Jason. Let's see who else we got. Snooks, Wally's World. Appreciate y'all coming on here, having a conversation with me. Miss Honeybee, she's still hanging out. And who was my Skunk Hollow's been hanging out with? The Hiker, Puff Puff. I haven't seen them chat a little bit. Maybe they're still there. I hope so. And then I had my first Yona Ane Woody. Yona. Had Yona for my first conversation on the Rumble. So uh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I was glad to be able to do it. I was sitting there. I was like, hell, I got time. I looked at what time it was. And I was like, hell, I got time to set everything up. So I went to work and set it up where all the places could go live, and it'd say the correct thing. I'm going to be saying the wrong stuff. So I appreciate y'all for popping on. As always, check out the links in the description. Got the merch and all that good stuff. And syndicated on the Trouble Minds Radio Network, and got more fun stuff coming up for sure. Of course, we'll be here Wednesday night. Yeah, if you're on the Rumble, repost the show for sure. I need to repost my own show. So you know, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, as always, I appreciate y'all. It's been a nice. I'm always blessed to have so many great, amazing people come on here and talk to me and everything. So, y'all have a great rest of your Monday morning or Monday day. And as always, y'all keep on keeping on, and peace and chicken grease. Y'all be good.